All right, everyone, we should be live. We will make sure that is actually the case on Rumble. And no, there are no baby sticks issues. It's just, it is extremely hot today. The French aren't even allowed outside. By the way, there is a pinned comment, if you're watching on YouTube, to Beau Guest, one of the greatest all-time movies from the 1930s. Watch it. I used to watch it with my grandfather. He thought it was great. It was a big one for military history. Don't worry, I'll remind people several times throughout the live stream. Let me make sure that everything's working here. Let me see with Rumble. I had to spray ant poison earlier as well, so I'm being gassed out by chemical warfare. It's a huge problem. I think we're live there. Yeah, we're live on Rumble. Some rumbling in the background, as you can hear. Okay, just a second here. Let's see. Okay, crypto. Mayra Flores, Tom Rice, Colbert Show, and Eric Botcher with the term Groomer. Vanilla Gorilla says, yes, you are. Yes, I know that I'm live on Rumble. It just takes a minute because there is a delay. We'll see how many Biden loser units we can get to today. All right, just a sec here. Let me make sure that everything's kosher. We will be doing super chats. And if I seem a little bit out of it, I didn't sleep well last night, number one. And number two, it is almost 90 degrees actually here in the Netherlands. That's pretty high. I wonder why the French are fleeing into their indoor spaces. Yeah, now the cat is having a hairball. Hey, Yana, you having a problem? Yeah, she's having a problem. Many such cases. You can probably hear her too. Let me see this. You can come over here if you want your back patted. 87 Sparky, what's the best solution to kill off aphids? Destroy the plant and burn it. That's basically the only thing I can think of. Sebastian Monroe, Ghost said he sold all his crypto. It's a man-child's wet dream, and it'll never come back above 69K. He believes cash is king for the recession. I disagree with him respectfully, but I do disagree. Albert Hunt, what type of character is your Skyrim character and why Stealth Archer? No, I go with Battle Mage. Battle Mage after level 30 or thereabouts is much more formidable. If you have impact, basically you can kill anything that moves. Dragons, it doesn't matter. They never even get a chance to fight back as long as you get the first shot in. Stealth Archer is good, but that's sort of a basic bitch build. Battle Mage is much better. Fire down below. It appears that Bitcoin is correlating with the stock market. Biden continues to destroy the market and win in 2024. How will Bitcoin ever go back up? Biden will not win in 2024. If he's the nominee at all, he won't win. He's likely not to be the nominee, so I wouldn't worry about that. Crypto will be fine. That's my own prediction. Disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. Amazon, but caps have fur. Shouldn't it be furball? Yeah. Josh Eternal, do you like pre-search? It's the best search engine. I've never heard of it. I'll have to look into it. Anyway, today is the show where we do mainly news recap. That's the Saturday show. Sunday show is more just Q&A. Saturday is more, news wrap up. There are so many things that I have to cover here. I've got 5 tabs open over on the side that I've got to get through. But we do have other super chats to get to. Jens Peterson, he sent 1,000 DKK, and I have no clue what denomination that is, but thank you very much. Hey, Sticks, have you read the manga Berserk? I don't read manga. No, I don't do the anime sort of thing. But if you recommend it, I'd look into it, I suppose. Conundrum 5087, which is better for recession as of now, crypto or metals? What about a severe depression? Thanks for all you do, dude. If you're only expecting a minor recession, I would, again, disclaimer, this is not financial advice. I'm holding a great deal of crypto. I also hold some precious metals. I have silver, physical silver. If you're expecting a depression, you'd probably want the physical metals because they would be more of a tangible value. There might be websites, etc., going down. Josh Eternal. Oh, and you got lost. Pre-search is run by libertarians. It's great. I'll definitely have to look into it. Just a sec. Let me look it up. Presearch.com. Presearch is a decentralized search engine powered by the community. Twitter, Facebook, email, copy link, register or log in. What are you looking for today? Fried mushrooms. Sounds good. And it's all in Dutch. That is a perpetual problem. All of these sites assume that if you're connecting from a certain location, that you speak the language of that particular location. Gefritteerd champignon, fried mushrooms. Voeding. Gebakken champignons zijn een gerecht gemaakt door het frituren van eetbaar champignons, soms nadat ze in beslag zijn something like that. You can see I'm not the most linguistically talented person in the world. Fried mushroom recipe, dinner at the zoo. These fried mushrooms are coated in a light and crispy seasoned beer batter. That sounds good. Then deep fried to golden brown perfection. Sauteed mushrooms with garlic. Spend with pennies. Yeah. Well, you could get worse results. I wish that all of these sites wouldn't automatically default to giving you results in the language of the location that you're actually connecting from. Like if I look up fried mushrooms or something like that, like you'd think, of course, I'm searching in English. Give me English results. I don't speak fluent Dutch. I can kind of understand it, but... Clumsy Vash. The creator of Berserk died. Amazing manga. Try it. Yeah, but I'm not hugely into the manga and anime and so forth. I'll look it up, but Ninja Bearfish. Thoughts on the Antarctic Treaty? What do you think they are hiding in Antarctica? Why is it that we aren't allowed to travel there? Hiding more land? Well, you can travel there if you want, if you can climb up a 100-foot ice embankment. I think that they're hiding, not really hiding, but it's less accessible. Fuel resources, oil, coal, things like that. Fubar 2020, if you were president of the United States, what would you do? I would immediately resign and go back to my garden, because screw going to DC. Transylvanian 90, congrats on your debate on gun control. You ran rings around that dude who seemed to base his entire premise on the legacy media's take on guns. Yeah, I noticed that some of his takes were straight out of literally the legacy media. No joke. No cap for real, dude. I'm going to become a Zoomer. Anyway, just a second here. Let me make sure here. Vanilla Gorilla back on Rumble. Bottom. By the bottom. Out of context, that would be a funny comment. By the way, we're at 4 Biden loser units already. That's pretty good, considering it's only 9:30 in the morning Eastern time in the United States. We also have some Twitter chats, of course. Seal Cagwin, resources on the extra territories. I don't know what that means. Woody Red back up there. Fried mushrooms. Yes, indeed. Fried mushrooms are one of the greatest things ever. We're having spring rolls tonight. Liz is going to be making them. And Oscar Gonzalez pointing something out that is important. How were the water chestnuts? They have not yet been delivered, unfortunately. I'm going to be cutting up a whole can's worth in the next stir fry. It's going to be pretty great. Yeah, people telling me 10:30. My computer is fucked up when it comes to time zones. I can't help it. I hate time zones. Anyway, we're going to go through some news topics. I think first, let me make sure that I've got these all in the row, all in order. Cold Summer 91. Do you think the Amish could become the majority at some point given their birth rate? No, but they are doing fairly well in a better, healthier lifestyle than most. The Atlas Report. This episode of Sticks brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. I see so many people selling out for various gaming fronts. Anyway, we'll talk about crypto first. I made a video this morning, actually, on the subject. I am still holding all of my crypto. And by the way, if you want to send me some crypto, you definitely can. Link in the description to various wallets there. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, I take Doge, etc. You should send me some because apparently a lot of people believe that crypto is going to die off. When I look at the whales, number one, they're not selling. When I look at the banks, they don't appear to be selling. When I look at it crashing under 20,000, link in the description, of course, archived. Serious 10K warning as massive meltdown sends Bitcoin crashing under 20K, tanking the price of Ethereum, BNB, XRP, Solana, and Cardano. Well, I hold half of those. Who cares? I don't give a shit. Yeah, the prices are crashing. I see this, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion. It is not fiscal advice, so disclaimer, I'm not giving you advice to invest on. All I see is the dot-com bubble 2.0. And if that were to happen, I would expect that some of those cryptos reabsorb all of the muster of the ones that die off. Yes, some of them will die off. There are too many of them. The total cap is, I think, bigger than the world economy, arguably. Yeah, some of them will die off. The value will go to the other digital currencies. Bitcoin is the big one. Ethereum is another big one. Solana, I think, probably survives. Cardano likely as well. Monero has its own proclivities, its own purposes. That one probably survives. I would say you could compact all of crypto into about a dozen different cryptocurrencies and have all of the actual usages of pretty much all of the crypto that's currently on the market, hundreds and hundreds of different types. Many of them are meme coins. Many of them are shit coins. You should not invest in them. That I don't even need to qualify that. I wouldn't invest in them either. I think the only meme coin that survives maybe is Doge. And that's because it's sort of the original gangsta of meme coins. There will always be a niche for how funny it is. That's sort of humor at that point. Bitcoin, I think, is fine. Ethereum is fine. Solana, Cardano, Litecoin, a few of the others, they're on the fence, but probably do okay. Remember the dot-com bubble. The dot-com bubble effectively destroyed most of the dot-coms on the internet. They were all overvalued, and a lot of them overextended. The difference is that in the case of having a cryptocurrency, how do you overextend if it's out of your control? It's a little bit different. And I see Crack Rock there, a good username. Shiba is better than Doge. Yeah, maybe so, but Doge is more of the meme currency. I would argue that that one would be the big one. Of the meme coins, that one would be the one that I would favor to survive. Other than that, Bitcoin, I think, is fine. Ethereum is fine. I think that Internet Computer, Solana, Cardano, and similar coins, XRP, certainly, they have the possibility of surviving. I would say it'll probably be winnowed down to a couple dozen, and so you'll have trillions of dollars wiped off of the market, but those mainly will be just swept up back into the coins that survive. That's my opinion, at least. I see Cats of Sherman, Starry Sticks. Crypto is the biggest Ponzi scheme in the history of the world. It has no real value. I know crypto investors will argue this, but their entire value is based on perception. Well, then you're talking about the US dollar, the ruble, the yuan, and every other currency as well. The difference being this one is digital. There are both advantages and disadvantages to this. I look at it as a currency. I don't look at it as a stock or something like that, although it's treated variably as one. By the way, if you hear the baby roaring with displeasure upstairs, again, it is extremely hot today, so don't worry. Her mama is with her, and she's got her bottle. Tommy McMorrow. I love watching these frenetic leftists lose ground. November will be sweet. I shall navigate salty tear canals in my Schadenfreude gondola, pushing it hither and yon with my member. Yeah, it's going to be one for the ages. It'll be crazier than 2016, just so that people are aware. Ninja Bear Fish. Jerome Powell said they are ready to launch the Fed coin, aka the central bank digital currency, in 2023. Do you think the Fed will crash the dollar? No, it'll just be a digital currency pegged to it, which we literally already have in the form of, I think, Tether. So it'll be meaningless. They're trying, though. They really want, the big guy wants his 10%. Pymander, I hope crypto crashes harder so I can accumulate more. Sticks, check out my political doodles at Liberty Bee Comics on Truth Social. I would, but I'm not in the US or Canada, so I can't use Truth Social. Donald Trump, in his infinite wisdom, has made it unavailable to people outside of North America for unknown reasons. And I'm not going to sit there and fiddle around with a fucking VPN just to use another fucking social media site. I'm not going to fuck with that. Fuck that shit. Anyway, so there's crypto. There's my thoughts in brief on crypto. Number 2, Texas Representative Mayra Flores will be latest member of Congress to have publicly referenced QAnon slogans, Watchdog Group says. You'll remember Mayra Flores is the one that just overturned 150 years of electoral precedent in the Rio Grande Valley, which I actually have resided in before many years ago, in southern Texas, becoming the first Mexican-American to hold a congressional position, born literally in Mexico. Congrats, by the way. She sounds sane, which is more than most of the New York or California-bred so-called Native Americans can say for themselves. And you know that she's got some good ideas because they're saying that she's adjacent to QAnon. And this has been a continuous sort of thing. If the person is saying things that are catching on, are saying things that are popular, they're promoting populism. So they're promoting the idea, hey, you should be represented by the government that you actually pay taxes to. You're a Nazi or you're a QAnon member. They can't call her a Nazi because she's a Mexican American. So instead they go with the QAnon slogans. And they're not even claiming that she's, supports QAnon or anything like that. The first member of Congress, the latest member of Congress, rather, to have publicly referenced QAnon slogans. Okay, well, what does that matter? What does it mean? America first? QAnon slogan? It's okay to be white, something like that. Probably will. Myciel Fraga, Mayra is why alt-right and ethno-nationalists ate wrong. I think, do you mean are wrong? I don't know if you mistyped that. Ate wrong. Yeah, they ate clams instead of oysters. Big problem. Nola Sparza, thoughts on New Mexico picking up Republican seats. I haven't seen that news. You can DM me on Twitter with such a thing. Clumsy Vash, you got me into gardening. 55 plants enough? XD. It depends on what plants those are. If those are cantaloupes or something like that, you're going to get one hell of a yield. If they're bean plants, a little bit less. I'd say however many plants you have is never enough. Same with guns, same with silver, same with subscribers, actually. Get that money. Get them beans in. Plant some more lentils. That's what I'm talking about. But yes, as far as Mayra Flores goes, this is a little bit of a bellwether for the upcoming midterms. You have an individual, number one, a Latina, and there's no Latinx or any of that horse shit. Latina, a female who happens to be of Latin origin, born in Mexico, running for Congress as a Republican, winning. Number one, not only winning, number two, winning by a huge margin, number three, overhauling a district that was held by the Democrats for 150 years. Just a second, I think someone is at the door, so just a All right, the neighbor had to requisition his mail. He had a couple of packages here, so. Open the door, it's me, Dave. Sticks is kill. Black screen ASMR. Oh, boy. Biden is at the door challenging Sticks to a push-up contest behind the woodshed. We actually do have a little bit of a cuck shed out there, but there's not much behind it other than an alleyway. What was I saying before? I'll try to remember. The Atlas Report. This intermission sponsored by BetterHelp. Yeah, in this country, the mail is a little bit wonky. Like, people often take mail for their neighbors. It's a little bit more like small-townish America. It's not like a big city where people would just steal your mail. People hold it for one another all the time. So, I mean, it's good and bad. I wish that it would just be delivered to the door, but it's kind of convenient. Sparky, Sticks, keep on trucking. I don't have a truck, sadly. When I'm back in the United States, I wouldn't mind getting a Jeep, but I want one of those military-style Jeeps with the green paint and everything else. Go muddin'. Mike L2535, Sticks, I keep missing all your live streams. Take my money, you beautiful haired angel. Well, you're not missing this one, so it's all good. Yeah, there's some hair there. Not a banned account. Tired of swatting? Try Coffee Brand Coffee. Yeah, I believe that's a quartering reference. He has a new coffee brand there. Yes, I was talking about Mayra Flores. Thank you, Oscar Gonzalez. Here's my thoughts. Mayra Flores overturned a seat that was held by the Democratic Party for 150 fucking years. That's significance number one. Significance number two is that the Democrats have completely lost control of Hispanic voters. And this is basically their worst nightmare. This is their end scenario as far as being a major party. The problem for them is that without Hispanic voters being massively on board with their issues, predicated on IDPOL, they can't win. It's impossible. There aren't enough votes. I think that the midterms are going to go catastrophically bad for the Democratic Party. I don't care if there's fortification or Hong Kong going on. I don't even think that'll be enough. I think they're going to get crushed, and rightfully so. Hopefully they get wiped out so much that Biden gets removed from office. I'm not predicting that, but it would be the best thing for it, really. Fat Frog, $20. No comment. Thank you. Nuclear Jones. Sam Hyde gave you a shout out on PKA. I've heard of Sam Hyde. He's done many school shootings. Oh my God, we must stop him. Insanity Pepper. Are Sasquatch and other cryptids interdimensional? No, I don't believe so. I will be covering Sasquatch, a.k.a. Bigfoot, a.k.a. the Yeti, a.k.a. Orang Padang, I think it was, fairly soon. I have it lined up in my occult playlist. Dud Block. I miss the spoon clank. Gotta have more spoon clank. Right now, I just have a lot of energy drinks. It's too hot to clank a spoon. I don't have the strength. Not a banned account. Will America pass common sense red flag laws? Unfortunately, it looks like there will be attempts to do so. I don't know if they'll stand up in court, though. Anyway, so we talked about Mayra Flores. That's an important one. That is a bellwether, by the way, of what's to come. We have another bellwether, though. Tom Rice, South Carolina, ousts Republican who voted to impeach Trump. This is the 5th Republican in the House who voted to impeach Trump for literally nothing, who has been ousted or is not seeking re-election. Liz Cheney makes number 6 out of 10. She will not be reelected. She will lose. I think she's 50 points behind at last count. So her career, her days are numbered as far as her House seat goes. Good riddance. The others, I think, are all hazarded, and probably most of them won't be there either. This is what we need. We need Trump 2024, in my opinion, but we also need to oust the dross, the neocon morons from the House of Representatives especially, but also at least to an extent from the Senate. It's too bad that Mitt Romney will still be there. And I think Collins and a few others, Cornyn, he'll still be there, even though he cucked on guns. But now the gun control thing is being hazarded too. They're having problems actually passing it through. Let me look that up really quickly here. Gun control, Cornyn. Yeah, just a Cornyn. Cornyn drowned out by booze at Texas GOP convention for negotiating on gun control. Yeah, when you're a Texan, you're from Texas as a congressman, and you sold out guns. You're probably the most pro-gun state in the union. Oh no, he got booed. I'm really, really sad about that. Oh goodness. Matthew McConaughey releases dramatic video calling for bipartisan gun horse shit. American Opinion passed the bipartisan gun control bill. Bipartisan, who gives a shit what people in Congress think? GOP Senator Cornyn booed by Texas Republicans over, and of course, gun control agreement. Yeah, rich and retarded people agree that you should have less guns. Wonderful. And that was in Houston. Houston is not exactly far right. Have you ever been there? By the way, Houston has cleaned up massively over the last couple of decades. They planted so many trees there, it looks like a forest city. In one video taken by Adam Bennett of local news station KHOU 11, the Republican senator mentions making sure that violent criminals and the mentally ill cannot buy firearms and is jeered by the crowd. Yeah, that's because you're talking about red flag laws and taking people who are depressed and disarming them. The only person they're a threat to is themselves. Fuck you, Cornyn. To think that I even memed on him years ago. After saying that means enforcing current law, nothing more, nothing less, and attributing it to conversations with Texas constituents, yeah, they have a bunch of Democrats probably, the senator is loudly booed as he sips on water. Yeah, let them eat cake and let Cornyn sip water. Let's take our country back, starting with our Congress in November, Cornyn said at the podium during the conclusion of his appearance in a video recorded by the Houston Chronicle's Jeremy Wallace. Thank you. God bless you. And may God continue to bless our great state of Texas. No, God's not going to bless you. He's going to shit you out, dude. God shit all over you. He's going to keep doing it. Opposed to gun law changes. Town Hall reported Friday that the Republican Party of Texas Platform Committee unanimously passed a resolution Thursday in opposition of the discussions and potential changes to gun laws occurring at the federal level. It included a rebuke of Republican senators working with Democrats on the issue in response to fears of Second Amendment restrictions and due process rights of law-abiding firearm owners. Yeah, oh, you mean in Texas, of all places. Texas, the land of tacos and killing hogs from your the back of your pickup truck with an AR-15. You mean that they don't want to be disarmed? I'm so surprised. See, Cornyn's an old crazy dude. He doesn't understand what the fuck is going on at this point. What a retard. Okay, we'll get to a few more super chats. But anyway, we have to get to this first. Tom Rice, South Carolina ousts Republican who voted to impeach Trump. Again, this is the case for now, I think, a half a dozen of these individuals. They're either not running for re-election, they've been ousted like Tom Rice, South Carolina, or they're going to be ousted like Liz Cheney. It's going to be funny to see her career trajectory. She'll probably work for MSNBC. She's the good Republican. She's the one that knows to bow her head solemnly and take a step back and let other people lead the way. And she's just supposed to occasionally opine on her opinion, but not too much. She's only supposed to put it out there to be a punching bag. And then she's supposed to say, okay, yes, you're right. Yes, I see the need for progress. Of course. Yeah, just like a typical fucking Cheney. Dick Cheney, at least he had the balls to shoot someone with birdshot. Liz Cheney don't even have that. Deirdre Metcalf, I've always wondered how you met Liz. YouTube, of course. We did, I think, 5 or 6 different interviews together before we got together. It was, over the course of quite some amount of time. Ashrael, try Red Bull Blue Edition. I've tried all of the special edition Red Bulls. This is not Red Bull. This is a 9 energy drink. I've got some back there. They're turned upside down for a reason. Much better. Red Bull is extremely secondary compared to this. Also, this has more caffeine in it. I need it. Nola Esparza, my bad, Sticks. Do you think New Mexico will be able to pick up Republican seats this November? Possible. Definitely possible. But by no means assured. 1111, watched you for years now. Keep growing. Would you ever try jiu-jitsu? No, I'd rather go gardening than do, the martial arts thing. I figure if someone starts doing karate kicks or something, you just shoot them. So I don't have much use for that. Transylvanian 90. Apparently Biden just fell off his bike in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, like half an hour ago. I will look that up. Biden bike Rehoboth. Oh, yeah. Biden had another oopsie, everyone. Thank you very much, Transylvanian 90. We'll look into this. Biden takes spill while getting on bike after beach ride. Oh, because he fell off trying to get on the bike. Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, AP. President Joe Biden fell when he tried to get off his bike at the end of a ride Saturday at Cape Henlopen State Park near his beach home in Delaware, but said he wasn't hurt. Yeah, his ego was, though. I'm good, he told reporters after U.S. Secret Service agents quickly helped him get up. Oh, imagine them swarming him like a fucking bunch of bees. I got my foot caught in the toe cages. Is that anything like when you tried to grab your dog's tail coming out of the shower and you fell on your ass in the shower and broke your ankle? Biden, 79, and First Lady Jill Biden were wrapping up a morning ride when the president decided to pedal over to a crowd of well-wishers standing by the bike trail. Biden, who was wearing a helmet, tumbled when he tried to dismount. Yeah, wonderful. By the way, everyone, there's nothing wrong here. It's perfectly normal. Yes. I think we got a couple of comments over on Rumble. Rel 21,000. Is it too black-pilled thinking that Dirty Hands Biden may tell SCOTUS to make the right rulings or may have to call a state of emergency to public safety that includes the Second Amendment one? Now, I think that the Second Amendment will be upheld by the Supreme Court, probably a 6-3. I don't even think that Roberts will dissent. I think constitutional carry may be not what happens, but there will be shall issue. Certainly either shall issue or constitutional carry, I believe, will become the law of the land. Either one is fine. If it's constitutional carry, the issue is dead. If it's shall issue, then the issue is dead for a while. New Jersey and New York massively up the price of concealed carry permits, and then they get sued again years later. Either way, the writing's on the wall. We've been going in that direction for quite some time. So on that one, I'm not worried at all. Andrew Mallon, are you finding any music on alt tech platforms? I make some kind of prog, early metal, blues-rooted kind of stuff, thinking it would be a good idea to populate alt tech with music before others. Yeah, use as many sites as possible. As a content creator, that is my opinion. We got so many comments here. Jesus Christ. RTZW, I'm glad I finally caught you live. I was recently raised a Master Mason and joined the Scottish Rite and was conferred the 32nd degree. Do you have any suggestions on how to further my Masonic studies? I've got some Masonic material available on the Tarl Warwick's Books blog, And you can purchase those and read them at your leisure. They come straight from the actual Freemasons and other groups, the Rosicrucians, etc., referring to them. I think there's probably about a dozen works there. I've got a really nice old booklet. I think it was from 1927 about Masonic burial rites. I can't remember the author. And I thought that was fascinating. I've got physically in my collection in Rutland. Really great book. Try to find it if you can. Not a banned account. Is the West now doomed to misery and poverty? No, but for the intermediate future, yeah, we're going to be in poverty because of Bidenism. Bidenomics is basically the same as FDR's horseshit. It's socialism by a different name. Cyberchrist, grow food, stockpile grain, build a local community, arm yourselves, decouple as much as possible from the system. Agreed. Keep in mind, wind power can be used to press oil. It can also be used to grind grain. Specs, why are businesses still so short-staffed? Increased benefits were canceled where I am long ago. How are all these people out of work getting by? Well, they're getting expanded unemployment benefits by Biden mostly. Dan Malone, 53, sent $10. No comment, thank you. Opinionated Junkie, Harris might not certificate election if still VP. Nobody cares what she does. You know, she can sit on attack. She sits on something else every night. Is it Brown Willie or Willie Brown? Not a banned account. Great reset. How do we gain favor with feudal lords? You become a feudal lord. All you have to do is whack the head off a feudal lord that's already there and say, hey, now I'm in charge. Other people are lemmings. They'll probably go along with it. KA, off topic. Are you familiar with Irish mythology? To an extent, yes. Given some of your interests, I think you'd find Eärmund's story interesting after her dad killed her brother for showing him up. I don't think that I've heard of that one. I have a casual interest in Irish mythology. I like mythology in general, though, so I cast the net very, very wide. And over the years, I've looked into Greek and Roman, Persian, even like the what is it called? Well, the Sumerians, number one. Basically everything. Hindus, I like their mythologies. Buddhism has an interesting mythology. It's a little bit much to take in. Michael Cricklow, hey Sticks, the United States should raise the voting age to 35. You can't become president until that age anyway. What are your thoughts? I disagree. I think we should keep it at 18. And I think we should recognize that because 18-year-olds are members of the militia, they have the right to own machine guns. Mail order them. Make them themselves if they want. Enough of this horse shit about gun control. We don't need any of it. Luis Tomato, regressive DA in LA under fire for 2 recent cop slayings at the hands of a violent ex-con. That's also known as a weekend in LA, so I don't think it'll change anything. John Hendy, in an alternate universe, Styx is an all-powerful wizard that is guarded by his pet saber-toothed cats, Yana and Farah. You also have a giant garden that is fertilized by an Andy-Sixosaurus Rex. That's not too far from reality. I have my little pet goofy gargoyles, John McKinney, what are your thoughts on Catcher in the Rye? It's all right. It's nothing special. Pamela Mail, appreciate your hard work. Well, thank you, Pamela. Musically assured destruction. Would Julian Assange ever reveal his sources for the leaked DNC emails? Well, they're trying to get him, obviously. They're torturing him for a reason, but no, I don't think that he'll reveal his sources. I think he's already been tortured so much at this point and in isolation so much, he's probably not going to crack. Aiden the Blue, I used to wonder why they don't stuff Biden in a closet like they did during most of his campaign, but I think they realized it's a lost cause. I hope they give him more situations to mess up. Yeah, every time he comes out into public, he does that. Amasong, any Soul Calibur 6 fans in chat? I've recently been doing Sunday streams regarding strategies, character creation, etc. The legend will never die. I never played it myself. And Ebenezer Adams sent $20. Thoughts on Göbekli Tepe? It's very, very interesting because it shows that human beings had a complex capability of understanding number 1 art, number 2 architecture, number 3 basic organization, at a time when they were supposedly not really much more than hunter-gatherers. They should not have been capable of creating such a complex. I think it pushes the human timeline back, just like cattle Hoyuk, and I think it'll take decades, potentially, but eventually people will realize that that's the reality. Okay, now we got to talk about the Colbert Show staffers detained by Capitol Police in the Congressional Building. The U.S. Capitol Police said 7 individuals were charged with unlawful entry on Thursday night. Yes, Stephen Colbert's people, invaded the House building. They were warned to leave apparently hours prior, and I guess milled around, but then re-entered, I suppose. And the Triumph, the insult dog, was there, which is, it's like fucking, what is it, the year 2005 again or something? Fucking take your jokes and go fuck yourself. And a bunch of people re-entered the House building, and they were milling around outside of Boebert's office, etc., in order to try to make cheap jokes, shit like that, to do interviews. They wanted the congressional background, and they got detained. Just throw them in the gulag. After all, I heard that this was the sort of thing that insurrectionists do. You're in a federal building without permission for political reasons, primarily. You're insurrectionists. We should hold you without bail for the next couple of years. I think that would be the best thing for the country. Then we'd have to see Stephen Colbert come out on TV and decry the authoritarianism of such moves. And it would be very, very funny. It would be very, very apt. And it won't happen, but, in a perfect world, it would. Opinionated junkie, we need Biden alive so Trump can come back. Yeah, well, Biden may or may not run, but him being there definitely is an impediment to the Democrats. Not a banned account. When will Biden retire to a home with ice cream? I think that he already has. That's basically what the White House is. You've noticed when he comes out and delivers a speech or something, he's not actually in the Oval Office. He's got a background behind him. He's in a totally different room. Is this paranoia about assassination, or is this just because they don't want him to poop all over the actual Oval Office and don't let him in there except for photo ops? I think it's the latter. As pooped by Anakin Skywalker, the government can track you with Bitcoin. Why use it? Well, they track you with your phone. You have a smartphone. Everyone else out there has a smartphone. Hell, I have to have a smartphone. I just leave it on my desk as often as possible because I fucking hate phones. You're already being tracked. Who gives a shit? Who cares? Use PayPal. Use an email. Use any social media. You're on YouTube right now. You're being tracked from YouTube. Everything you do is being tracked. I've stopped giving a damn. Strong and Grand. Any thoughts on the Project Veritas Biden diary story done by Tucker Carlson on Fox News recently? Fuck Fox News and fuck Tucker Carlson is my message to people. Turn them off. Turn off Fox. Controlled opposition all the way down. Look at their friend Ann Coulter and what she has to say. I was right about her years ago. I'm right about her now. And I'm right about all these morons. You'll see it in time. It'll just take time. They'll boil the frog a little bit, so to speak. You'll see that I'm right about these people. Alamandorius. Hey, Sticks. Ever hear of a YouTuber called Fifth Columbo? Go check his stuff out. The delusion is real with that one. Never heard of him. If he's delusional, I don't want to give him attention. Some Japanese characters, Astral. I do not understand how half the population seriously thinks white supremacy is a real issue in the USA. I have never seen one who wasn't clearly trolling. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, there's no real bigotry in the United States. Most people that say bigoted things are just trolling anyway. And those that are genuinely bigoted, imagine, do you think that people who are genuinely hateful, like, so you got some white Rubish people, and they're basically Klan adjacent or something. Do they go to Harlem to harass black people, or do they just stay in the trailer park? You get a bunch of Black Panthers. They're living in the hood or something. Do they go out to the hinterlands into, Ozarkville, or do they stay in the inner city? People who have those kind of views typically stay among their own people because they're bigoted, so there's no problem. The only place in which they interact with others is online, and they may say hyperbolic and crazy things. That's an opportunity to de-escalate their hate. And this is what the lame streamers don't understand. Well, I mean, they do, but they pretend not to in order to try to censor people. 50 eggs sent $20. No comment, thank you. Opinionated Junkie Boondocks told us about Ann Coulter years ago. Yeah, so did I. She's fucking crazy. Also, it was she, I mean, relatively speaking, I suppose. Orang Pendak, you dolt. Yeah, I think it's Pendek, actually, burns load. So we're both wrong. So take the L. SJ Shady 0169. Hey, Sticks, what's your thoughts on Milton William Cooper? Do you think he was legit? Have you read his book, Behold a Pale Horse? I don't know who that is, actually. I can only study so much. But yeah, to recap, the Colbert show had a half a dozen people detained by Capitol Police for invading the House offices off hours. And if they were right-wingers, if they weren't working for Stephen Colbert, they would probably be in a jail cell right now in solitary confinement. They would be labeled as insurrectionists, and the presumption would be they intended to assassinate someone. So we'll see the double standards. We'll get to the groomers in a moment, but we've got a couple of super chats. Please don't send any more super chats cross-platform, by the way, because I have a few more to get through here. And we're going up on 50 minutes. Let's see. Transylvanian 90. Tucker's in it for the money. He's an entertainer who doesn't really believe which he says. He just panders to the genuinely upset conservative people and cons them into thinking he's their champion. Absolutely. He is an entertainer. He's like a less honest Alex Jones. And less talented, by the way. Ebenezer Adams, how do you fit writing into your day? Mornings, late nights? Is it a hard schedule or does mood dictate? Mood dictates at this point. When I was on my first 400 edited works, I forced myself to write each day, whenever possible, unless there was something real big going on, like traveling or something. Now that I've gotten those done, I go at my leisure. So I did some editing today. Actually, I've begun editing again. To tell the truth. Oriental Masonry, the 401th work that'll probably come out. I'm getting back into it because it's like this time of year, I get that energy. I just want to read a lot of stuff on the occult anyway. It is a difficult schedule that I live by, but I wouldn't have it any other way because what else are you going to do with your time? The whole purpose of living is to do things. I don't want to be idle. I hate naps. I hate relaxing. I hate being idle. I hate waiting for anything. Waiting rooms are like, they should all be burned to a crisp. Waiting rooms shouldn't even exist. You shouldn't have to wait for anything. Let's get efficient, people. Let's be like the Germans. Not a banned account. Will Cold War II heat up before 2024? I think it's already heated up quite a bit. It's no longer a popsicle. It is now a tamale. Gorgeous Mayhem. Bo Guest was an awesome movie. I got one for you. Gunga Din, even better war movie. I've seen it. Yes, excellent. Yes, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, to the people out there, 2,300 of you basically, definitely watch Bo Guest. There is a pinned comment. If you're watching on YouTube, take the link, watch Bo Guest. It's the 30s version, which is the only definitive real version of it. There's an older one and some newer ones. Don't bother watching them. Watch the 39 version if you want a real fucking war movie and you want to see some weird shit, because the main antagonist in this movie is one of my favorite villains of all of film history. And this is a 30s movie, so there's some lack of refinement in some of the special effects cases. Just trust me, watch it. Spend a couple hours and have some fun. Angela Richter. 529 Insurrection, never forget. Yes, I think, I don't know which one that was because there were so many leftoid insurrections. Do you mean the one with Kavanaugh's appointment? I remember that one. They invaded the Senate. Yeah. Disco Spinach, I've been steaming lately. How do I get my chat more active? You have to gain more subscribers for that. I would recommend branching out onto multiple sites because you're not going to get much of an audience on YouTube unless you already have one. YouTube, sadly, is no longer broadcast yourself. It's basically fuck yourself. I would recommend using Rumble, potentially Odyssey, Twitch, any other combination of sites. Use StreamYard if you want. You can collate out to 3 different sites at the same time without paying a cent. It's a good idea. Again, please don't send any more super chats. I've got a few more to get through here. Anti-Kami loves you on CFC yesterday. Yes, I had a good time. Future conflicts. Not a banned account. I'll super chat if I want. You're not my real dad. Okay, Winnie the Pooh. Xi Jinping. I see your avatar there. You're making me sad. Yeah, I think, oh yeah, we've got one more news topic to go through. Please don't send any super chats, though. I've gotten through those all, and there's one more thing here. This is hilarious. And by the way, a justification of all of our memeing. Did I not say years ago that the way forward was to endlessly meme and ridicule the people who deserve memes and ridicule? Here's Eric Botchner, or Eric Botcher, actually. He's LGBT. He's, I think, a gay male, and so he's grasping onto this. The term groomer, link in the description, you can follow along if you want to. The term groomer is absolutely nauseating. Grooming is what child molesters and sexual predators do. And the term was used repeatedly by council member Vicky Palladino to describe my community. So gay people, I'm assuming. Vicky for NYC on Twitter. We need you to acknowledge this is wrong and tell other people to stop too. And I'm thinking to myself, nobody is saying that gay people are trying to groom children. What is being pointed out, and that appears to be the case for this particular council member against Eric Botcher, is that there are books that are being taxpayer funded, put in taxpayer funded schools that overtly have sexual situations in them. And they're not being given to like high schoolers. You give an 11th grader a book like this, they're going to laugh their ass off. You give it to even a middle schooler, they'll just act like grossed out or something. They'll be incredulous. They're giving it to 6-year-olds. That is grooming behavior. Overtly attempting to sexualize small children. And by the way, I would point out to Eric and to all of these other morons out there that are trying to claim that these books are somehow an LGBTQ plus a 123 IZ issue. Many of these situations are straight situations. One of the worst ones that I saw was some chick, and she was describing to her little brother, I guess 7 years old or something, within the fictional context of the book. She was describing sex to him, the sex she had with her boyfriend. And it was really cringy and really weird. And it's like, again, if you gave it to a middle schooler or a high schooler, they would laugh their ass off. It was like, oh, well, and when they start cuddling with each other, he puts his hard penis into her slippery vagina, always back and forth, or some weird shit like that. I was laughing when I read it. I'm thinking back to even when I was like in 6th grade or something, I would have found it hilarious. A little bit of a warped sense of humor, you might notice. But this should not be shown to small children. This is a straight situation. This is about a girl narrating her sex life with her boyfriend to her younger brother, which is already a little bit creepy in and of itself. It shouldn't be shown to small children. If you want to get a rise out of people, show it to like the 17-year-olds in high school. They'll laugh at it. They will constantly narrate it to one another in the hallway. They're saying, oh, would you like to see my hard penis always going in and out? Look, I was in high school short enough ago that I know exactly what would happen. It'd be hilarious to them. But you're showing it to like little kids. You're showing it to 1st, 2nd, 3rd graders. That's just not right. I don't care if it's straight. Nobody gives a fucking shit. If you're gay, if you're straight, if you're bi, if you do the drag kink thing, nobody cares. The other thing is when they're trying to appropriate drag as part of LGBTQ plus A123IZ, it's not a sexual orientation. Drag can be done by straight males. There was a drag queen, I can't remember his name, actually, that came out the other day, who is gay, in that case, a gay male, talking about how kids shouldn't be part of it because it's holding back the LGBT thing because then they get called child molesters, and then you're basically justifying that by having 6- and 7-year-olds come to the strip club. No fucking shit, dude. Yeah, I wonder, will this be good for public relations? Hey, 6-year-old, here's $5. Stuff it into this dude's underwear. That's going to go over really, really well with the average centrist voter, by the way. If you think that this is only right-wingers, the insinuation by idiots like this, like Eric Balcher, again, link in the description. Go write him down. It'll be hilarious. The insinuation is that if you're against the groomer literature, which is what it is, or 6- and 7-year-olds going to a strip club or something, that you hate gay people. I don't care about gay people. I just don't want kids exposed to overtly explicit sexual situations or even innuendo. I don't care if it's straight. I don't care if it's gay. I don't care if it's animalism. I don't care what it is. They shouldn't be exposed to it. When they're older, when they're 18 years old, go on 4chan. You'll learn plenty of weird fetishes. That's perfectly fine. Until then, no, you don't need to do that. I can't imagine this is really the hill that these people want to die on, by the way. They are losing massively when they try to make this a gay rights issue or something like that. Oh my God, I'm a gay. And you're basically saying that I'm trying to groom kids. Well, are you taking them to the strip club? No, then you're not trying to groom kids. Well, that's perfectly fine. I don't care if you like cock. Who cares? Plenty of women like cock too. You know, nobody has a problem with it, but we don't invite them into the classroom to talk to 10-year-olds about it. They're actually willing to die on this hill, which shows you the far left strategy in all of its glory. These are really the people that we have to deal with in society. Michael D'Angelo, thoughts on Ivanka's comments on Billy Barr and J6. I literally don't care what Ivanka says. She is not an elected official. Means nothing. Billy Bob Jenkins. Joe Biden just fell off his bike. Yes, that was covered earlier, and it is hilarious. So yeah, we've gotten all through the news here. Jesus Christ. Holy fuck. By the way, let's see. How many Biden loser units would that be? That would be 7, 8, almost 10 Biden loser units, despite being still fairly early Eastern time, by the way. So we talked about cryptocurrency. I believe that it will go up again in the future, but we have to make sure which cryptos do. Mayra Flores knocking off the Democrats after 150 years of nonstop Dem control in her particular congressional district. Yeah, this isn't a bellwether for the midterms at all, or Hispanic voters in general. Tom Rice getting knocked off, which means that 5 of the 10 House members that voted to impeach Trump, they're gone. Liz Cheney will be next as of August. The rest of them will fall by the wayside without too much trouble. Colbert's people broke into the House of Representatives after being warned to leave. This is an insurrection. They should all be in solitary confinement for years to come, pending treason charges for trying to overthrow the government. And then, of course, we have the Groomers. They are afraid, by the way. Keep calling them that, because apparently they wouldn't be saying it's nauseating. Please tell your constituents to stop calling me a groomer. They wouldn't say that. They wouldn't even bring up the specter of child molestation unless they were afraid. So keep calling him a groomer, because, I mean, that's literally what they're doing, and fuck them. Nobody cares if you're gay, dude. You want to screw an adult male in the ass? Nobody cares. Go ahead, get some mud on the helmet. Get monkeypox or something like that. Nobody cares. Just leave the kids out of it. You know, leave them kids alone. Teachers should do more of that, since half of them seem to be child molesters at this point. Anyway, I'm going to go off right now, even though I did go off for the last hour. We're running up on 60 minutes here because there are many things to do. I believe spring rolls are on the menu tonight, and Liz makes some of the best spring rolls that I've ever had in my entire life. So I'm looking forward to tonight. Oh, one more. Aaron Bennett, with January 6th committee coming to a close, do you think they will come after Trump or Bannon, or is this a nothing burger? It's a nothing burger. They're already not referring charges, and they won't, because they have nothing to charge for. It's a bunch of bullshit. And it'll die with a whimper, and there will still be people years from now that say, oh, there's a coup, my January 6th insurrection attempt. And it'll never be true, but it doesn't matter to them. They've already made up their minds. That's about all. Peace out.